I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of supervisors, please.
It's bigger. I can read it. It's different every time I turn around. Why is it big?
Not working, Dave? Can you mark me? Dave, Amanda's going to mark you.
Okay. I might have to raise my hand.
19 supervisors are present. Supervisors Belsky, Brown, Decker, and Grady are excused.
Citizens' comments. Are there any citizens wishing to speak? Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Marita Huff, 7939 34th Avenue, District 8. I'm back to request that this body create a human services contingency fund and increase funding to the Shalom Center. The federal government cut rent and utility support funds and food share. This will cause more people to be evicted, leading to more people outside. The point-in-time count done in the middle of the night in July found 57 people living outside. This is nearly 3 times the usual number found in this twice yearly count. My church feeds people twice a week. A higher percentage of those 55 to 70 people that we feed are homeless now than last year. It is seldom that I hear that anyone has found a job or an apartment when it used to be common. Unskilled jobs are scarce and rents are very high. Emmanuel gives out gas cards, and it is a real strain to do it, so we had to cut back, giving cards only to people who are living in their vehicles. Last year, from January to September, we gave out 67 cards, and 14 of the recipients were living in their car. This year, from January to September, we gave out 125 cards, and 46 of those people were living in their cars, some with children. That's the kind of increases that we're seeing. For the last 2 winters, when temperatures dropped near zero, KHDS put many people into motel rooms, but they couldn't house all of them for several reasons. Emmanuel opened and for several nights housed 8 to 12 people, including 2 children in 24, and 10 to 16 people, including 1 baby in 25. In 25, a 50-year-old man got frostbite and had to have several toes amputated because he didn't know to come to Emmanuel. We can't do that again in the future. Our insurance carrier won't cover this liability because we're not a licensed shelter. The Hope Hub Warming Center was only open 4 nights last winter. They want to be open more nights. They can only do this if they get enough volunteers to provide the supervision. Their budget is strapped because of federal funding cuts. A coalition of individuals, churches, and organizations called SOS, Supporters of Shelter, has goals which include recruiting volunteers and support for the Shalom Center and educating the public about people living outside. The average Kenoshan thinks that the Shalom Center takes care of all people experiencing homelessness. They have no idea that around 100 fellow citizens live outside or in their vehicles in every kind of weather. In our diligent efforts to educate the public, it would be great to include how their county board and county executive helped by increasing the shelter funding and developing an emergency fund to cope with the increased needs and fallout from the federal budget cuts. We would much rather praise you for your forward-thinking compassion than condemn you for your cold-hearted indifference. No government mandate compels counties to help the homeless, but there is a moral obligation to love your neighbors and care for the vulnerable. You are mandated to have a county health department. Ask that department, is it healthy for older people with health issues to live outside? For a 19-year-old to live in a tent? For a man with asthma and obesity to let his sleep apnea go untreated because he can't plug in a BiPAP machine in the woods? For families with children to live in their vehicle for months? I could give you examples for another hour. I hope that you understand the seriousness of this situation going into this winter, and ask your Human Services Director and Committee to verify what I am saying before you finalize your budget. The City of Appleton set up a night shelter that houses 60 people. It happened because the executive and the mayor and the churches wanted it to happen. It's not impossible. It takes a will. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to speak? Any other citizens wishing to speak?
My name is Tim Stocker. I live at 6050 60th Avenue, and I would like to take a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, please. Thank you.
Any other citizens wishing to speak? Any other citizens wishing to speak? Any other citizens wishing to speak? Seeing none, citizens' comments are closed. Announcements of the chairperson. Just a friendly reminder, if you have not RSVP'd for the Sunday dinner, if you're attending the WCA conference, please be sure that you indicate whether yes or no you'll be going, so reservations can be adjusted accordingly. You also have a packet on your desk. Make sure you take that with you. That has instructions about reimbursement and the conference. If you have any questions on the packet, feel free to reach out to Reggie, and she'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Youth and Governance. Tonight we have Michael Sandwich and Stephanie Laganis. They both represent the Legislative Committee, so welcome. Thank you both for being here this evening. Moving on to supervisor reports. Seeing none, supervisor reports are closed.
New business, Resolution 139 from the Human Services and Finance Administration Committees, a resolution to modify the Division of Behavioral Health Services 2025 budget for a grant state crisis intervention program. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Gentz was excused from Finance and Administration Committee.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 139.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Nudo. Supervisor Franco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Human Services and Finance Committees both voted to approve a modification to the Division of Behavioral Health Services 2025 budget in order to accept a grant from the State Crisis Intervention Program. This grant will allow the creation of an embedded social worker for the Pleasant Prairie Police Department. We ask for the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 139? Supervisor Stocker.
I have a couple questions. I don't know if anybody's here that can answer it.
Carrie, would you please come up to the podium, please? Thank you.
How is it decided when this person will be needed in a situation?
We're going to model this program, this embedded social worker, just like we're using it within the Kenosha Sheriff's Office. So the requests will come from officers, just like it does come from deputies or command staff.
Okay. And how do we guarantee the safety of this person if the situation might be volatile?
So the law enforcement officer will request the embedded social worker on scene. The law enforcement officer will stay on scene. It will be determined jointly when it would be safe for law enforcement to leave the scene and for the embedded social worker continue to work. It would not be any different than how the current crisis team operates with law enforcement.
Is there any way to document how effective this program will be during this period of time?
Yes, so we have several measures already in place, and it was part of the grant application. The specifics are to enhance suicide screening and identification methods, and at least 80% of the Pleasant Prairie Police Department will receive screening on the CSSRS, which is the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale. We'll also be doing other type of screening with outcome measures. We'll also be using the CALM screen for accessing lethal means. We've also purchased with the grant medication lock boxes and gun locks in order to leave behind for families or individuals that express suicidality to limit their access to lethal means. We will continue to increase community members' linkage in behavioral health services and resources, develop written plans and follow-up procedures, and all of this is going to be documented in the electronic health record, so it will be continued to be measured per quarter while we are in our first year.
There's a quarterly report that we can review?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Stocker. Any further questions or comments from supervisors? Seeing none, this resolution does require a 2/3 vote, so if you're in favor of the resolution, you will vote yes. If you're against, you will vote no.
Resolution 139 passes unanimously. Resolution 140 from Public Works and Facilities and Finance Administration Committees, a resolution for We Energy's permanent distribution easement for a parcel in the village of Salem Lakes. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Meadows was excused from Public Works and Facilities Committee, and Supervisor Gentz was excused from Finance and Administration Committee.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 140.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Nudo. Supervisor Franco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Public Works Committee approved a resolution that will enable Wisconsin Electric Power Company, which is working with We Energies, to utilize an easement over a portion of Kenosha County's property in order to install electric utility services to a neighboring property. The Kenosha County Exec and the County Clerk will be authorized to execute the necessary documents to process the easement. We ask for the Board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 140? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution 140 passes unanimously.
Resolution 141 from the Public Works and Facilities and Finance Administration Committees, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an underground telecommunication easement with the Wisconsin DNR to support telecommunication upgrades at Silver Lake Park. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Meadows was excused from Public Works and Facilities, and Supervisor Gentz was excused from Finance and Administration Committee.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 141.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Nudo. Supervisor Franco.
The Public Works Committee also approved a resolution authorizing an underground telecommunications easement with the DNR in Silver Lake Park. The DNR has agreed to grant a non-exclusive right-of-way easement to Kenosha County at no cost other than a nominal recording fee. We ask for the Board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 141? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution 141 passes unanimously.
Resolution 142 from the Legislative Committee, a resolution recognizing September 15th, 2025 through October 15th, 2025 as Hispanic Heritage Month. This passed 6-1 at the committee, with Supervisor Stocker voting no.
Supervisor Morrissey.
I move Resolution 142.
Moved by Supervisor Morrissey, seconded by Vice Chair Gashke. Supervisor Morrissey.
I would like to turn the floor over to Supervisor Garcia.
Supervisor Garcia.
Good evening. First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity to bring this resolution forward. Obviously, I'm Hispanic, so it is an honor to bring this resolution forward, recognizing September 15th through October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, some questions came up as to who this will benefit or what jobs will it provide, and quite frankly, it probably won't provide any jobs, but as I thought about it, you know, it costs nothing to honor a certain class, make a certain class feel appreciated, a class that does things that us who have the privilege to be born here and not have to get on our hands and knees and do the things that, you know, we are blessed to not have to do. And, you know, it costs nothing to honor a certain class, and I'm honored to be bringing this resolution forward, and I ask for the board's support, and thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Garcia. Any further discussion on Resolution 142? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Communications, 108, communication from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file.
109, communication from Corporation Counsel Joseph Cardamone, a resolution to enter into a lease with the state of Wisconsin for the property at 11312 Burlington Road.
Refer to Public Works Facilities and Finance Administration Committees.
Claims 47, Alyssa Rudolph, property damage.
Refer to Corporation Counsel.
The approval of the September 2nd, 2025 minutes by Supervisor Stocker.
Supervisor Stocker.
Move the September 2nd, 2025 County Board meeting minutes.
Moved by Supervisor Stocker, seconded by Supervisor Gentz. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Robinson, seconded by Supervisor Gama. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.